Hello, and welcome to your next lesson. Today we will review the DatedIF feature. This feature would allow you to tell the difference between two dates based on years, months, or days. We will also incorporate mixed referencing as we learned in the formula series. Please open the Date and Time workbook and go to the DatedIF tab to follow along in this lesson. The following illustration provides an overview of the tool we will review today. We'll begin by adding our formula into the cell. We will use a Y, a M, or a D to notify Excel of our calculation type. We will also do an autofill to complete our exercise. Before we do this, we will set our cells up using a mixed reference so we can ensure that our calculations are based on the correct cells. This is an awesome feature, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. Let's go ahead and dive into our lesson now. So here we are on our spreadsheet, and I would like to introduce the DatedIF function. I've added some memorable dates from the 1900s to calculate our information. We'll be calculating the difference in years, months, and days from the actual event. Let's begin by looking at row 4, which is just basically a random date that I entered. I'm going to go ahead and use the today feature to mark our end date. So we want to know what's the difference between December 1st, 1920 to today. So let's go ahead and place our mouse inside of cell C4. Let's type equal, and let's go ahead and type today. Let's do an opening and close parenthesis, and let's go ahead and click enter. Now I'm going to use the today feature for all of my information. Let's go ahead and click C4. Let's hover to get our black cross, and let's go ahead and drag it all the way down. So for clarification, column D will give us the difference in years, column E will give us the difference in months, while column F will give us the difference in days. We'll be crunching the number from the Apollo 11, the Model T automobile release date, the first movie theater opened in the United States, the date that marks Kodak introduction to Brownie cameras. We'll also crunch the date on the first silent movie, as well as the first flight by Orville Wright on December 17, 1903. Okay, so let's begin by placing our mouse inside of D4. Let's say equal, and let's go ahead and type DatedIF. Let's do an opening parenthesis. Let's go ahead and grab cell B4. Let's place a comma, and let's go ahead and grab C4. Let's place another comma. Then I want you to put the letter Y in quotation marks, followed by a closing parenthesis to notify Excel that we are calculating by years. Let's go ahead and click enter. And as you can see, there is a 100-year difference. Okay, so this time I'm going to simply copy and paste my formula over to the month. Let's do a right-click copy inside of D4. Let's go to cell E4. Let's do a right-click and say paste. Now, as you can see, I got an error this time because Excel is expecting me to be calculating by C4 and D4 instead of B4 and C4. I need my reference cells to remain constant. So although my row will change, I need my column to remain the same. So here is where I will use a mixed reference as we learned in the formula series. So let's go ahead and place our mouse back inside of cell E4. Let's go ahead and type DatedIF. Let's place an opening parenthesis. Let's go $B4. Let's add a comma. Let's type $C4. And let's place another comma. So again, this is ensuring that my information is pulling from column B and C, and that information does not change when I copy and paste my information. Next, I would like to notify Excel that I will be calculating by months. So I'm going to go ahead and place M in quotation marks, followed by a closing parenthesis, and I'm going to go ahead and say enter. And as you can see, it's been 1200 months between my two dates. Now I'm going to copy and paste this information over to days. I'm going to say right-click copy. I'm going to go to cell F4, and I'm going to say right-click paste. So again, I got 1200 because it still has an M. I'm going to go into my formula, and I'm going to simply change M to D to notify Excel that I would like F4 to be calculating by days versus months. Let's go ahead and say enter. And as you can see, we have 36,549 days. Okay, so next I would like to do an autofill. Now because I have placed a mixed reference in column E and F, when I drag my information down during my autofill, I can ensure that it is still pulling from column B and C. So this is why it's important to get familiar with your reference type to ensure that your calculations are correct. Okay, so let's go ahead and select column D4. Let's go ahead and drag it over to column F4. Let's get our black cross and let's go ahead and drag it all the way down. Okay, so now you can see the dates start to fill up. Let's go ahead and review a few. Let's go ahead and take a look at row 6. This is the date that the Model T automobile was released, and it is marked by September 27, 1908. It's been 112 years, 1,346 months, and 40,997 days. Let's go ahead and look at row 8. This is the date that Kodak introduces the Brownie cameras, and that happened on February 8, 1900. Has been 120 years, 1,450 months, and 44,151 days. Let's go ahead and look at row 10. And this is Orville Wright took a flyer for a 12-second sustained flight. That happened on December 17, 1903. It's been 117 years, 1,404 months, and 42,743 days. So go ahead and play around with this feature and see what other fun information you can find out. You have completed another video. I am very proud of you and the progress that you are making. You are doing a great job, and I look forward to seeing you in our next level up lesson video.